few things. So, what we've got first in store. First, I want to show you a little scribble. I've already done this and I made it into lots of different things. So if you do a little scribble with nice and smooth lines, that's the sort of thing we want. And then what I want you to do, if you do that scribble, then I want you to find something that you can make that out of. Find some lines. I'll tell you what, I'll show you what I've done already. So I did a little scribble there, and then I found these things. So here I found these two lines, well, 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this other line going around it. I've used that as the head, well, face, whatever you want to call it, and this as the rest of the body. Now, that is very, very good for shading. I want to show you a few shading skills. Now, first of all, I want to show you this very interesting little, I don't know what it's called actually, but it's very good for use of shading. Now, what it does, if you do a little something just there, like that, then what it will do, if you go like that, it smudges it, and it sort of shades things for you. Just move it around. Show you what that's done. It's not very clear in this camera that I've got, but if you look at it in real life, you'll be able to see what difference it makes. So that's one thing. If you want to get them, where I got this one from is, it came in a little pack from TK Maxx, I think, in Meal, if you live near there. So anyway, also with this, what I did, and also I found some, well, I didn't find anything, I just drew it. Well, I thought it would be good. I thought it would be good to do some like tentacles and stuff, because that would fit that sort of shape, wouldn't it? And which tentacles, if you use your wrist, you can get very, very smooth lines. Like if you use your wrist, practice these sort of, oh sorry, I was looking at the camera, too busy. Let's just rub that out a second. So if you use your wrist, you can get very good, or where shall I do it? Like, and your arm also. I don't know whether it's wrist or your arm. I suppose it'd be your arm. But anyway, so, and also I've discovered this very good way of doing fur patterns. So if I do like a line here, then if you've got some sort of pencil, you always have to change pencil. You can never use the same one, I find. You have to change to like 2Bs or HBs or Bs or I don't know, whatever pencils you've got that fits what you're about to do next. So it's probably not as clear on this camera, but is that in the middle? There you go. But you can do this sort of so it's forward twice and backwards once. You can also do it backwards twice and forward once. So I'm going to do it 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Then if you do that, also leaves a gap, which means you can do curls just using going forward. It does actually work, I seem to have found. You might have even found that sort of what's it called, technique, I suppose, already. Now, right, so that's there. If you can, no, you can't really see it on the camera, but I've just done it on the outside of these tentacles here. Right, so that's one thing. Right, now back to this scribble. If I just change pencil again. Right, I don't think I'm very lucky this time with this scribble. I suppose you can see this, like this line here. Now there isn't a line here, but I just want to, well, there is sort of a line, if you can see that. If you look very closely. Oh, you see that line just there? There is sort of a line, but we want to just do a nice curved line sort of thing. You don't have to get it right. I'm gonna now. I would also always, if there's a slight turn in one of your lines, never worry, because you can just go over it. But still, sometimes I make them a bit thicker, so any sort of mistake that I can't see, it won't show, because the lines will be a lot bigger. Well, wider, I suppose. Anyway, so I found that line there. Then I suppose if you went around here, there's also a line. Maybe you could use that line. Now, just went round here. Sorry, I do take a lot of time on my lines when I don't necessarily need to. I'm a bit of a perfectist, if you call it. Maybe we could get a few jokes while we wait for me to do this very boring bit. Just, well, if you find jokes funny. If you've ever watched this Sophia the Robot, I think she's meant to be the cleverest robot in the world. And sometimes I've seen lots of videos of her, and she comes out with these amazing jokes. I think one of them was we'll just go and ask. Do your own thing while you wait. Now, what's that so big robot joke?
How do you entice a bear out of the tree?
Oh yeah,
No. What cheese do you use?
To entice a bear out of the tree. Right. So the joke was that she told was, how do you entice a bear? What cheese do you use to entice a bear out of a tree? And give you a bit of time, I think. Come on, bear. It's a type of cheese. I don't seem to be laughing because I don't very know about that cheese. I think it's a French cheese or something. Anyway, back to this. I think I've done my bit now, my boring bit. Now, when I found these two lines, like a bit of a magic sack sort of thing when I did this. So, what you could draw with great detail, unless you could do some shading, I suppose. You could either shade or do some detail, or I don't know. But I'm going to use my thing again. Actually, I just swap pencil. Do that. Doesn't have to be complete perfect, just quick. Then you can just use this. Not many artists have this sort of equipment. I'm surprised really, because it is a very useful thing to have. Sorry, I think I went a bit over the... You can just draw lines there. Then you can just shade them out using this. That's strange, usually these lines would go if you moulded this together. Now, also, maybe you need a thicker pen. I don't know. Anyway, you can, or rather than shading it, which doesn't seem to be working for me with this. No, too many lines. Anyway, so, or you can just make some patterns, I suppose. I might just go like, wow. That would take ages and I don't want to make this video too long. So, let me, using so a lot today. Right, anyway. Or, I don't know what you could draw inside there. Cause anyway, with this thing, sack, whatever you want to call it, I just found it in this random scribble, and sorry if I use the wrong word. I don't know what it sort of is, but it is sort of a sacky bag, maybe Santa's sack if you wanted. You could try and draw a good picture of Santa, try and grab hold of that. And anyway, of course you would have your own scribble, so you wouldn't have that. But if you can try, but this is just an example. So anyway, so what I've also found earlier on, which I've already showed you, I found that. This is like a fantasy sort of dragon's tail, whatever it is. Then this is, I'll just show you a bit. So, anyway, so that is the sort of, if you, I found a little bit of, just a tiny bit of shading, but I sort of drew a line between, sorry, I can't hold the camera with one hand and draw the other, I'm afraid. Oh no, this is so tricky. Right, so what I've done with that line, I've separated those, I've halved that basically, is I found these two lines in the scribble that I did. Well, these two lines, there's just one line, isn't there? This is like an oval. And I just did a bit of pattern and a bit of shading on that. And also, I found this line, that line, and I also found that line, that middle line, and I used it as another one, as like that sort of thing, except I found that one. Well, I mean, I drew that one, but with this one, I found it on the scribble that I did. So basically, I've used it to draw like a nose and two eyes there. I've done like an evil sort of mouth there. I don't know what you want to call it, but I wouldn't know. It's like a body sort of thing. So that's what I've done. Put the camera back up here. Where's the? Oh yeah, it is. Strange. Right. So back to this. So also, have you found any more things on your little scribble I've done yet? I can't find anything else. I think this time it isn't so lucky. Last time I did a good scribble and that turned out to be a very lucky thing. Ah, yeah, you might have seen this. Now, this thing, right, where's the, right, So on here, I'll show you what I did. So I drew like a line. There's my ruler, because I'm not very good at drawing straight lines. Right, if I just rub out, actually no, we might find something in there. Anyway, so what I did, I drew a line like that. You can see that. Hopefully you can. Looks like it's clear on the camera. Marks out of 10 for this camera. Well, if you comment on this, then obviously you can give me a marks out of 10 on this camera. It's not great, but it's alright, I think. Anyway, so then what I did, so I did like a somewhat little symmetrical thing coming off from this line. Oh yeah, symmetry. And another tip, just get this a bit over here. Yes, I could. Where's this? Where's this going? Obviously won't get a 10 out of 10 for this camera then. So, oh, do you know what? I think it's quite clear. I think so. Anyways, so what I did, a tip for symmetry, drawing symmetry. What I tend to do, I tend to also do this for circles too. So what I do, I draw a dot just around about where you see the end of that line. What I do, I draw a dot on the other side of the line, exactly where that is. Then you can draw as many dots as you like if you want to, and then you can just do another dot there, which is where that top is. Then you can go from there. And using this dot, you can make that symmetrical. That's just one tip. So that's what I did first of all. Then I just went around here . And did that. So, sorry, am I taking loads of time? Shall I have another joke? Oh, what's that other joke? Oh, I'll try and think of it as I'm doing this. So, oh yeah, one you've probably all heard. Well, at least most of you. A very common joke. What do you call a fish without an eye? You probably all know the answers because you've probably all heard this video before. I mean, a video joke before. Of course, the answer is not a very good one. I don't always laugh at jokes, but some other people do. And that's that. Anyway, so what I did that. Now I'm going to pretend. Well, I did actually by an accident go terribly wrong, which is what this trick shows you to do. So I did trying to do a symmetrical thing. No, I should have used the dots. I always use the dots when I'm doing symmetry, which is why because I'm so used to it, when I don't use them, I always go wrong. So I did that. Now, what I did, I first of all did this for this line. I tried to do it nice and symmetrical. Well, when I come onto the other one, I'll do it symmetrical. Then I went round here and round there, just like a little pattern for symmetry, symmetrical, whatever you want to call it, at least again. First time I said that. Then I went round here, came up here, then, oh no! Instead of going symmetrical, I followed this line. Then I came round. And now, another trick for drawing is that if you ever go wrong when you're trying to draw something, make it into something else. Which is what I always do. So what I've done, I think that's a bit too big. I made this into a sort of monstery sort of thing. What I did, I made this thing a tail. Well, I don't know. Then I followed this line and joined it up to here, like that. Then from about here, I went like that. And came round like there. Now, that probably doesn't look like anything, but when I will do this, I don't know, this is like a bunny sort of nose. Like that. So that's sort of monstery sort of thing, and then suppose from here it does looks like a bit of a no, I couldn't make that into that from here. I was thinking about not putting this leg in and making it into like a fawn, which you've probably all heard of because of course Lion and Witch in the Wardrobe. It's a very famous story. But I'm going to do it with 4 legs. It isn't that brilliant, but it is a little something, which, because I went, then this, I went a bit wrong. I have gone a bit wrong because I did it a bit slightly different. This was meant to be the ear, which is a bit closer up to there. On here it's a bit well, better, I suppose. You could see this is the ear, And that's where I've done the iron there. It's a bit similar. No, it's not really similar to that, is it? But I think I've done that. You got any ideas what that could be? What I could make that into? Ah, I've got an idea. What about if we draw like that? An accessory with dragon's wings. Sorry, any wing that I have to do. It has to be a dragon wing because I love them. Then you can draw from each little circle. This hasn't turned out quite what I meant. And you could go from there and draw that. And you can go like there. Because it's only a little creature, I've done it slightly sort of different to. Of course, because I've done it that side, then I have to do it the other side, otherwise you can't just have something with just one wing, can you? Suppose, is that all I need to do? Yeah. Would you say that's alright? I think it is, isn't it? Anyway, have I got anything else I could show you? Well, that scribble, it hasn't come into any great thing, has it? Right, if I give you a bit of a picture of this scribble, see if you can think of anything that I can make it out of. Oop. It really hasn't been very successful. You might have an idea though. I definitely don't. But oh, No. I'll see if I can work out. I'll see if I can find another one for next time. I think I shall be doing another video soon. Of course, this is my first one. Marks out of 10. But that's mainly all I have to say. Just remember, smooth lines using your wrist or arm, and TK Maxx, this. It's very, very good. Very good for shading. And what about shading skills? Bit like that. It's alright shading, isn't it? I might be doing how to draw some animals soon. But, well, no buts. There aren't any really but sentences I can say. I meant but, the not the noun, the conjunction, obviously. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. The conjunction I'm talking about. Can I just make that clear? So, is there anything else I can do? Oh yeah, just remember that also smooth, well, no, not smooth, I'm thinking of smooth lines. That pattern of doing fur, so forward, forward, back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward, back. You can't just keep on going on the same lines. But then, when you go back, you can also go back with a bit of a curl at the bottom. Like for an animal or something, you might have fur coming off the neck or something and blowing in a direction by the wind. And that's it. I'll see if I can work out another thing for the scribble that is definitely more successful. But well, explore a new scribble, whatever. Just keep on practicing those scribbles and see if you can make anything out of it. And there you go. Goodbye.